It seems that with every passing week, we are getting closer and closer to the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, and yet we still have not yet received another trailer. Trailer number 3 is still out there. Yet at the same time, the pre-orders have only just been revealed about 2-3 weeks ago at this stage. So should we even expect a trailer number 3 this month? Because maybe Rockstar are deciding to do things a little closer to the wire this time, it seems, because of the lack of gameplay, the lack of really anything at all to do with this game. But maybe Rockstar isn't waiting because they have nothing to show, but maybe they're waiting for the right moment to show something off, and it doesn't seem like that is the case right now, because when you look at Rockstar's history, their marketing strategies, they've never been about releasing information weekly. It's always been about controlling the conversation with the audience, and right now Grand Theft Auto 6 is still very much dominating the conversation without Rockstar needing to reveal anything new. Of course, there is the controversy surrounding PlayStation regarding the lack of physical discs, which will be commencing January 2028. So I suppose in theory we are not just considering Rockstar's lack of information, but Sony's lack of communication regarding their update. But let's return to when Trailer 2 released, way back in May of 2025. It completely altered and changed the perception around Grand Theft Auto 6, because before that trailer we had not received a single shred of information about it until 2023 officially, and that was when we received Trailer 1, and the conversation was basically Grand Theft Auto centric for a very, very long time until eventually we got the trailer. But some fans are also worried that Rockstar might not have been ready to put the game out in 2025 because of the lack of information we received up till that point. But obviously the week before we received the delay, we had received the unfortunate announcement regarding the game's state of development and how it was to be pushed back a whole year, or just over a year at that point. But the trailer did what it set out to do. It introduced Jason properly. It gave us a much better understanding of who Lucia is, and it showed a lot more of the state of Leonida, because attached to the trailer we received all of the screenshots to different locations, and it introduced new character synopsises and bios, because it gave us a clearer idea of the tone Rockstar's aiming for with this title. It had its own identity, and Rockstar knew exactly what they were doing, but it didn't answer every question that we had. It gave us more, created more questions for us. Who are Jason and Lucia running from? What is this criminal conspiracy, and how deep does it really go? And I guess what kind of a world is Leonida actually hiding underneath the surface? That mystery is valuable because Rockstar understands that mystery creates suspense, and suspense adds to the continued interest in the narrative for the player. And this is just my personal opinion about the matter, but I believe the reason why we have yet to receive anything new regarding the game is due to the imminent release of the Quartz Center heist from GTA Online. So I imagine what will happen after that point, we will receive some more information regarding the game, but Rockstar want the players to focus more on that side of the game rather than their upcoming game. And even now, people are still analysing every frame, discussing all of the features that we've seen so far, and creating new theories surrounding what we've seen through Trailer 2. And I think this is exactly what Rockstar wants the player, the audience to do. They don't need to do any of the marketing in essence, because you are the marketing for them. Because there was no real reason for Rockstar to rush to the next major reveal for this game. They know it will be talked about, they know it's going to do well. There's no need to rush for them. But now is the right time to discuss this. What does GTA 6's rollout look like between here and November? Obviously nobody outside Rockstar knows the exact schedule, but looking at their previous campaigns, there is a pattern. July and August most likely are the quieter months, but what will Trailer 3 actually involve? It will most likely introduce more of the story, perhaps focus on different characters and incorporate them into Jason and Lucia's story, so we're focusing more on what is actually happening to them rather than focusing on each individual character. Will there be more interiors? Will the AI be better? Will there be a vast number of activities to involve yourself with, and how vast will the freedom be? As we all know, GTA has always been about freedom freedom and the sandbox experience of doing what you want and when you want. There's always the question about how far Rockstar is willing to push the sandbox, and I'd argue that they're starting with something else entirely, and that is, what is the experience they're trying to create? And once you've got the answer to that question, you can start to think about, okay, well, what game do we take it from? And again, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the perfect example of that. They focused a lot on the realism, the movement, the detailed animations, the way the protagonist Arthur interacted with the world around him. But those things weren't there just because Rockstar wanted to make the most realistic game possible. They existed because they supported the story. Arthur Morgan is a man watching his world disappear. The lifestyle is dying, the government is expanding, the world feels like it is moving on without him. The mechanics are telling the same story as the narrative, and I think GTA 6 is going to be following that same philosophy, that the world itself is going to move on with or without you, and whether or not you're involved in a crime or not, you're still going to find that the government and the world will catch up with you. And I believe this is why Jason and Lucia are such an interesting choice for the narrative, because the Rockstar's protagonists usually have very key important relationships around them, but these two, they just seem different because they seem to only have each other, and that changes the emotional foundation of the story, because if their relationship is the heart of the game, then everything else can be built around that. The missions, the world, the danger, the consequences, because the game isn't just about committing crimes, it's about becoming how two people try and survive together in a world that is mostly against them, which is where trailer 2 comes into play, and how we can work that out through what Brian says, and he tells Jason that they've got your name, your address, they got everything. But the one thing you have to remember about trailers is that they are edited to create impressions, and you shouldn't always assume that every cut is a direct story connection. And the impression this all creates is that Jason and Lucia won't just be dealing with random criminals, and instead the highly organized crime syndicate, potentially. And I think this is why some people might misunderstand what GTA 6 is trying to be. They look at the game and ask, how many things can I do? Can I go from point A to point B? How will I get there? But Rockstar is asking a different question. How does every part of this world support the story we are telling? This doesn't mean that GTA 6 won't be chaotic. It doesn't mean it won't be funny or satirical. It doesn't mean Rockstar is moving away from the freedom that made GTA so famous and so well received. It just means the chaos might exist inside a much more carefully and intricately designed world. A world where the story, gameplay, characters and environment all work together. And that is probably the most exciting possibility you could ask for. Not simply having more features, but having every feature feel like it belongs and has earned its place in the world. And this, of course, makes Grand Theft Auto 6 the first game to release from Rockstar without a physical copy of the game. And it's sad because, for one, the launch of their games were events. You'd go to the midnight reveal at your local store and you would buy it and go home. And it felt exciting and special and a memorable event in and of itself. Digital games obviously are more convenient for most people. They're easier to access, they are faster, they fit the way many people play today. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be remembered for none of that whatsoever. It represents the future of gaming as a whole. It represents a future where you cannot share your games anymore. And when trailer 3 finally arrives, I don't think it will be just another collection of impressive footage to work with. It will reveal the next step in Rockstar's vision for the title. Trailer 1 showed us the environment. Trailer 2 showed us tidbits of the plot whilst introducing our second protagonist for the story. Trailer 3, I imagine, will expand upon that and show us more to do with some of the characters we have read about through the synopses, perhaps give away a little bit about the plot than we are aware of. But when they do reveal it, it will change the way we understand the game. That in itself is very special because it will get you hyped again, which is what we all want to feel, regardless of all of the backlash and regardless of all of the boycotting going on throughout the gaming industry. But with that note, Grand Theft Auto 6 Trailer 3 most likely will come this month or August. I can't imagine it'll be any later than that, and I thank you very much for listening.